friends, it's the Stitches. Today we have a style guide. I've never done one of these before, but this particular style guide was very requested, so let's get into it. Let's talk about Larm. Larm is one of the more recent J fashion styles that I've become aware of, and I absolutely love it. I think every aspect of it is adorable, so let's talk about what makes Larm Larm. The style is extremely popular in Harajuku, but it seems to primarily come from Shibuya. A lot of the brands commonly associated with Larm are in Shibuya 109. A lot of them also have shops in Harajuku, but I feel like the primary epicenter of this style seems to be in Shibuya. The style is based off of a magazine by the same name that was originally released in September 2012, so it's definitely a very recent style. It's been around for like a little over 7 years now, and Larm largely presents itself as sort of an art-based magazine with a fashion edge. They're known primarily for their elaborate photo spreads and artistic layout, and the aesthetic is simultaneously hyper feminine but very classy. It's best known for a girly aesthetic as well as makeup that makes you appear as if you have just recently been crying. There's a lot of heavy reds and pinks and even some sort of rougey browns that are put underneath the eye right around the tear duct area. And this is how the style gets its name. Larm is French for tears. The magazine is also well known for featuring brands like Liz Lisa and Swan Kiss, Honey Cinnamon, and Ink Rouge. In terms of the aesthetic and the style, it seems that the hair and makeup is the most important aspect. Natural colors are most common, but muted pastels and muted gem tones are also seen from time to time. Especially sort of like a honey brunette color or an ashy brunette color seem to be the most common hair color. The actual hair styling is usually very over the top with heavily overdone waves and curls. There's also a very popular style that involves lace-up braids. Misa Hair is a pretty famous hair salon for doing this type of hair styling. Yusuke Okamura works with Larm magazine, and he's also particularly well known for doing this type of styling. My neighbor is singing System of a Down. I really hope for his sake that this isn't picking up on my microphone, because I don't think I could resist not putting this in the video. In terms of the actual fashion style points, lots of interesting textures are used. Very structured garments also seem to be more prevalent than the loose flowy styles more common in Natural K and Mori. And again, it's just very classy. There's a lot of European influence, a lot of French and British influence specifically. Just like any other fashion style, it can largely be broken down into different basics. So these are some of the basics that I have sort of identified and associate with Larm. This is mostly my opinion, but I mean, I did spend several hours on Pinterest looking at Larm photo spreads. The most common colors are, again, muted pastels and muted jewel tones. There's also a lot of red, black, gray, and cream as far as neutrals go, and classic colors. Skirts seem to be the most prevalent choice in terms of bottoms, but pants are seen. It's not like Lolita where you can never wear pants, but the pants are usually very girly and have sort of interesting cuts to them. There's usually maybe some ruffles down the side, but skirts are typically very structured. A-lines are very common. Tapered pencil skirts are very common. They're usually about knee length. Sometimes they go a little bit below the knee, but you're going to more commonly find above the knee skirts than you will below the knee skirts. Skirts can even be as short as like upper thigh. If skirts are longer, they will often have some sort of upper layer made out of tulle or some sort of gauzy sheer fabric. Jumper skirts are also frequently seen, as well as suspender skirts, and basically just anything with a more structured bodice, and these are frequently worn with blouses underneath. Pastels and muted jewel tones are the most common jumper skirt colors. Also, slip dresses are seen sometimes, but they're not as as prevalent as more structured garments. Two-piece sets and OPs are also obviously something that is present, but not quite as common as coordinated singles. As far as tops, you almost exclusively see either really girly blouses or oversized sweaters. There's not much else, but again, this is a very new style. There's a lot of experimentation going on, so really feel free to get creative. Things like fluffy textures, ruffles, lace inserts, wide collars, especially Peter Pan collars, and oversized sleeves are all very common style details for tops. Shoes tend to be chunky heels and wide platforms exclusively, although you do occasionally see things like Mary Jane's. Fluffy shoes and lace-up details are also very, very common. Things with like faux fur detailing especially are very, very big in the Larm scene right now. Overall, it's just very girly. It's very classy, it's very posh, and it's also very new and experimental, and I think it's very exciting to see where this style is going. I think now that Lolita has sort of waned in popularity, obviously there are still Lolitas, Angelic Pretty and Baby the Stars Shine Bright are having great business years, so Lolita isn't necessarily dying, but it is less popular than it was in, say, 2010. And I think Larm is really where a lot of those people that were dressing in those really extravagant, really heavily detailed and ultra hyper feminine styles are really going more towards Larm, just because it's more mature, it has maybe some darker themes, and it's not as sugary sweet as Lolita was. But that is my opinion. Overall, you'll see a bit of an older audience wearing Larm. It seems to really target women in my age range, people in their mid to late 20s. I'm 25, so I'm like the perfect Larm age apparently. But yeah, that is Larm. I hope the person that requested this video is satisfied. If not, please leave me some questions down below. And with that, I hope everybody has a good day, and I will see you all next time. Bye!